Greetings, welcome to what I hope is the first of many more Genshin Impact videos to come. So today we are taking a look at Noelle, the Maid of the Knights of Favonius, I'm not sure what they call them, but I'm pretty sure in Japanese they're called something completely different. But anyway, we are going to look at her skills, her combat abilities, and what best equipment to give her and everything else. So let's go take a look at it, shall we? So first, her normal attacks. As you can see, it has 4 consecutive strikes, but she does wield a giant Claymore, so the 4th attack has a lot of recovery time. The charge attack is exactly what you expected from Breath of the Wild, in that it charges up for about a second, and then she spins continuously, dealing damage to anybody around her. Now, I did just read that it has a maximum duration of 5 seconds, and it does drain your stamina as you're doing it, but right as it ends, it does one big, massive slash at the end of the duration. Then the plunging attack, as everybody else, depending on how high you are, it'll do damage. So yeah, there really isn't much to it. As you can see here, maximum duration 5 seconds on her charge attack, and you can see the damage breakdown and how much damage each slash does and everything else. Then her second skill, Breastplate. This is her bread and butter. So as you can see, upon activation, it summons a little geo protective shield around her that scales on her defense. So just from that, you know you want to max out her defense as much as possible. Then if you use this next to an enemy that is afflicted by another element, unless it's also Geo, they are more than likely to drop little elemental fragments that you can pick up for an extra shield. So if you use this at the right time, you can get 2 shields for the price of 1. Now, as you can also see, when this is active, her normal and charge attacks have a chance of healing everybody on the party, whether they're on the field or not, by a certain amount. Now this also scales, I believe, with her defense, I think? Yeah. It increases the amount of defense, and as you can see, the shield has massive increased durability against geo attacks, which is going to be very useful once you get to the second area of the game, the Chinese themed area. Then sweeping time, her elemental burst. So this literally does one giant slash in about a 180-degree arc in front of her, and then it imbues her weapon with massive AoE capabilities, as in she'll essentially deal 360 degrees of damage every time you swing with it, and it becomes as a geo element, so if you hit somebody else that isn't using a shield, you are more than likely to get even more small elemental fragments that will give you more shield, so yeah. It is definitely a great skill, although it does take quite a bit to charge up, which is a little unfortunate, and as you can see, it increases attack based on her defense once again. Then her passive skill, Devotion. So this literally means that if you're playing as another character that isn't her, and they are taking a lot of damage and they suddenly drop to 30% or less HP, they will get a big shield thanks to Noelle. It does have a 1 second cooldown, but hey, that will definitely help in your survivability. And it's definitely come in handy quite often. Now, this second passive skill I don't have access to yet. As you can see, it unlocks a characterization phase 4, which is a way beyond what I'm currently doing. As you can see, every 4 normal or charge attacks hits will reduce the cooldown by 1 for shield. Now, the hitting multiple enemies will only count as 1, so it's basically 1 per swing, essentially. And now, her cooking skill. So whenever you make any food that has the little shield icon on its upper left corner, she has a 2% chance of rotating double the product. It's not the best, but hey, I tried it. I think yesterday I made like 15 sandwiches of some sort, and I got 1 extra one. So hey, not the best. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, and... So as you can see, that final swing has a lot of recovery time. But the good news is that once it lands, we can dodge out of the way and keep attacking. And by the time we're done with the 4th swing once again, our stamina is fully regenerated. So very nice. Then her little shield is this. Now, as you can see there, we are surrounded by a very nice shield, but the only thing we need to take into consideration is that while the shield is active, we are considered to be of the Geo element, so anything that reacts with Geo that hits us will probably grant the enemies a shield, which kind of sucks. But I don't think I've ever seen that happen at all, so there isn't much to... You shouldn't have to worry too much about that happening. Now, what about weapons? Well, when it comes to weapons, we want something that increases her defense, obviously. Unfortunately, I don't have any weapons of that sort. I've got this one that allows you to deal even more AoE damage when dealing with small fry. I have this one that helps me deal with pyro and electric enemies, which is okay-ish. Then there's this one that if I'm taking a little bit of damage, suddenly her charge attack deals even more damage and becomes almost uninterruptible, which is okay. And this one, which on normal hit, charge attacks increase attack by 6%, so it's okay. But unfortunately, her attack isn't really that high, so this one isn't really that useful. So generally, I stick with this one, which does damage on enemies I burn or electrify, and this one which just does AoE damage. Now, there is a weapon that you can craft. If we head on over to the blacksmith, there is a very nice Claymore that is basically designed for her. As you can see, this is the weapon that is essentially designed for her. As you can see, on a hit, normal oil charge attacks increase attack and defense by 6% for 6 seconds to a maximum of 4 stacks. Now, once you ascend this thing to level 5, I believe that 6% becomes 12%. So that means we can have almost an extra 50% extra defense on Noelle during battle, and that is a tremendous amount of defense extra onto her. Now the good news is that this is actually available for crafting from the very beginning. All you need is really this thing. Now I was lucky enough and got one already from one of the bosses I killed, so I'm lucky in that respect. Now unfortunately, these are all the characters I have, and none of them have a crafting bonus, unfortunately. So that is actually the best weapon. Now, what about accessories? Well, accessories are actually a bit of an RNG in what you get, but there is one, and as you can see here, the 2-piece set for the Lucky Dog bonus just gives us a flat 100 defense, which is pretty amazing. Outside of that, you want to focus on anything that gives you extra defense. Now, I don't have any of these that give flat defense as the main thing over here, so I found this one that gives me an extra 3.5%, which is okay. It's not the greatest, but hey, it's better than nothing. Then for the feather, I found this one that also gives her a little bit of defense. As always, we are looking for anything that has defense up here, because the big number up here above the star rating will increase as you enhance the artifact. As you can see, this one started at around 7% defense, and as I enhanced it, it went all the way to almost 16%, so very nice. So other than the two-set Lucky Dog, the 2-piece bonus for the Lucky Dog set basically focus on anything that gives her an extra set of defense. As you can see, this one also gives her an extra 6%. So by the time I'm done with this one and with this one here, she is going to have a really large amount of defense there. And this one here, another one with defense right over there. So very nice. And this is also part of the Lucky Dog set. So excellent. So that is exactly what you want on Noelle. Anything that increases her defense. Because as you've seen, not only can she take a lot of hits, she can also heal everybody when she hits with her shield on. Now, lastly, her Constellation. Should you be lucky enough to get any extra copies of her, what can you expect? Well, her first one is I Got Your Back. While Sweeping Time, which is her Elemental Burst, and Breastplate, which is her shield, are both active, basically you have a 100% chance of healing everybody in the party. So if you're in the dire straits and everybody has taken a lot of damage, activate Breastplate and Sweeping Time, and suddenly you'll get everybody up to full or near full, which is very nice. Combat Maid. It increases the stamina consumption of her charged attacks by 20% and increases the damage, so very nice. Not the best because she has relatively low attack, but hey, better than nothing. Invulnerable Maid increases the level of Breastplate by 3 to a maximum upgrade level of 15. Now, regarding that, I have no... Let's see if we go to Talents, Breastplate. As you can see, Ascension Phase 2 required to be able to level them up. So that means that... I'm not sure if the maximum level is 12, which would make sense because this plus 12 would mean 15, which is the maximum level. Now, moving on. To be cleaned. When Breastplate duration expires or is destroyed by damage, deals 400% attack damage of geo damage to surrounding enemies. Very nice. Especially since you're going to be using that shield very often. Then Favonia Supermaster increases the level of Sweeping Time by 3. Even better. So let's see. What do we get at max level with Sweeping Time? Talent, Sweeping Time. My guess is we're going to get increased damage here, increased attack bonus based on defense, and all the good stuff that we actually want. And lastly, Must Be Spotless. Sweeping Time increases Noelle's attack by an additional 50% of her defense. Oh yes. Additionally, every defeated enemy during the skill's duration adds 1 second to her duration up to 10 seconds. So yeah, Sweeping Time is an absolutely amazing AoE skill. Unfortunately, I can't really show it to you because it's not fully charged up right now. But yeah, Noelle is definitely a character you definitely want on your team. As far as I've been able to see, she is only one of 2 currently available characters that are of the Geo element. I think. The other one is available on the pool. So if we come here and here, her right over there, she is the other Geo character, I believe. If we go into details, let's see. Yeah, King is the only other Geo element character, I believe. Yep, she is. Those are the only two current Geo elements. Now, the good news is that if you do want her, she is actually available. If we go here and we go, no, not there. We need events. Here we go. Beginner's Wish. So this Beginner's Wish is available to everybody at the once you start playing the game, and it costs 8 something of the special crystals instead of 10, which is very nice. And the first time you do a tempo, you are guaranteed to get her. So if you need her or if you want her, you can definitely make it very easy to get her. Has no time limit, so no matter when you start playing the game, you will be able to get her. So it requires Shiva. Let's see, which one does it require? Acquaint Fate, that's what we need. Now I can't see the summon anymore because I already did it, obviously. But yeah. Noelle, the Maid of the Knights of Fabronius, and definitely a character worthy of your team, especially considering the extremely limited availability of Geo elements and the large amount of Geo puzzles available in the second area of Yaking, I believe, or Yuking? What's it called? What is the second area called? Like over here in Midland and all these areas around here, there are plenty of Geo puzzles that, without her, I would not have been able to solve. So, Noelle, an excellent character to add to your team, definitely very defense-oriented, and definitely somebody that can pull you out of a tight situation thanks to her healing ability with her shield. So, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.